I'll tell you what is good, and that is the Melbourne Football Club at the moment. And look, if there is a downside, of course, it's that the Melbourne supporters here can't embrace it as much as what they would have. But I tell you what, there's a lot to embrace wherever they're playing.
There was a lot to like about them last night. And late, let's have a look at some of the last moments. Christian Petrarca had a brilliant game again, 30 disposals.
Bang.
And the Brisbane Lions were coming. They showed little glimpses early in the last quarter, late stage of the third. But then Christian Petrarca showed his class, probably the best man on the ground, along with Clayton Oliver. But to kick these 2 goals and put them in, they're a very happy team at the moment. Their systems are working so well. They're connecting from defence to attack's outstanding, and they had the luxury to take a lot of key players off late in the game, like Max Gawn, that man Petrarca and Oliver. So Melbourne Footy Club into a prelim, and as Kane said, it's hard to see them not winning that prelim at the moment. We'll speak to Ben Brown a bit later.
I thought the scoreboard, Brownie, flattered the Brisbane Lions. I think Melbourne, with all their inside 50s, or 68 to 45 inside 50s, should have won by a lot more. And everyone wants to know, why is this Melbourne team so good? And it's because they do it in 2 ways. So this is the pressure. So Brisbane got the ball. They didn't know what to do with it. And so what they had to do was force it long down the line, panic kick. Lockie Neal, a lot of disposals, but look at that. Long high balls going inside for Gawn to take some grabs. Lever, May, Matheson gets the ball, hacks it. Who's behind the ball is Jake Lever. But let's flip it to when Melbourne win the footy. Look how good they are with their ball movement. I think this is the area they've taken their game to a new level. They used to get to this point last year and they used to just slam the ball on the boot bill and didn't make the most of their entries. Now they have an amazing ability to know each other's roles and what each other's doing. They play for each other and they get entries and scores, Bill. So the opposition's hacking the ball. Melbourne, they just never rush. They never panic. Langdon used to be a poor kick. He doesn't waste it either now. So 1 minute there's a mistake down one end, they punish it down the other, Bill.
Very unselfish too. Remember 2 years ago, they had a very good midfield, but they were selfish midfield. Now they just share.
And like Viney used to be questioned for his disposal.
Right.
Oliver was, Petrarca was, but they're all beautiful kicks now.
Well, speaking of Clayton Oliver, what did you make of him again last night, Kane?
Phenomenal, TJ. He's the best pure midfielder right now in the game, and we chop and change a little bit. It's been Bontempelli, it's been Martin, but right now he's in the best form out of any of them. Let's have a look at some of his numbers. This is what he's done. This is how he has taken his game to the next level. Lordo spoke about his ball use. Well, he absolutely used to be a poor kick and a poor decision maker. Look at that. Now he rolls and he goes. I thought his ability to touch kick last night, like this sort of stuff, that is a weighted kick into the space. Now, the Mark Williams influence, I don't know, it's got to be there. There's got to be something in this because Clayton Oliver hasn't done this before in his career. The weight of that kick, 4 goal assists, 10 score involvements to go with the clearances the ground ball gets and all of that. Phenomenal season.
He's always been an accumulator, Kane, but the thing I've noticed about him, not only is his kicking, you're absolutely right, but he was a handballer and he was a stationary handballer and then he'd get it back. At the moment, he gets the footy and he bursts 10, 15 metres like a Martin, like Bontempelli does, and he's added that to his game. And you're right, he's just about the best midfielder in the competition right now, and just that burst out, I think, is setting him apart other midfielders.
We've still got one game today, the Doggies and the Dons, but from what you've seen so far, are Melbourne your flag favourites?
Well, they're definitely the team to beat, but Port Adelaide were mighty good the other night as well. Their form in the last 8 weeks has been outstanding. They come into this with a home prelim final as well, so they're the 2 best sides in it. The Dogs, I thought, were the best side in it for most of the season, so I'm keen to see how they go today.
Lordo?
Kano, before you go, on neutral territory, I think Melbourne are the team to beat, TJ.
Billy?
Hang on, Kane. This Melbourne and Port for me. Righto, Kane.
Righto, Kane. This better be good.
Sorry. No, it's not. We're fast-forwarding a bit, but the one vulnerability that Melbourne have, I think, is when the ball hits the ground, and we saw that with Charlie Cameron. I just forecast the grand final matchup, if we get there with Butters and Rosie and Dersma, Fantasia, the smalls that Port Adelaide have got, will present some challenges for them.
Damo, what did you take out of the media conferences?
Yeah, look, everyone attached to this Melbourne journey is so conscious that their fans can't be part of it. Simon Goodwin spoke about it last night. We'll speak to Ben Brown about it soon. And when you're speaking of a journey, Chris Fagan, the Lions coach, felt that his team had too many passengers last night.
We are playing for them in a lot of ways. They've suffered over a long period of time. They want a footy team that competes well as often as possible, and that's what we're trying to do for them.
Bottom line, they had probably more contributors on the night. We had a number of players that played below their best, and in a big final like that, when you're playing against a great team like Melbourne, you can't afford to have any passengers.
Yeah, OK, plenty of passengers. And I've got to say, one name jumps out, Kane, when it comes to that.
Yeah, well, Harris Andrews was a passenger last night. You don't get many opportunities to finish top 4. I mean, this is rare stuff you're talking about. You don't want to get to at the end of your career and look at performances like this. So I just want you to watch the intensity or lack of intensity from a vice-captain of the club. He's got Ben Brown there. Yeah. Slow to turn around, loses his man in traffic. This is in the first couple of minutes of the game. There's no excuse for that. Then bang, Ben Brown's a confidence player. He's up and about. This is good. Once again, 20 metres off when the ball's 50 metres away. It's too much of a leg rope there. I know he likes to zone off and be that interceptor. You've got to defend. And if there's a spoil to be made, punch it over the boundary line. He's a great spoiler or mark it. There's a lack, once again, leg rope here. I could have shown you 10, 12 examples of this. Another leg rope with Jackson there, Bill. So, and this is what concerns me. I mean, this is a qualifying final. And then again, and you'll see the frustration here, Bill, when he plays out, he looks to the umpire. So he was poor, and there's no hiding away from that.
Spot on. No urgency, was there, Nate?
But I'll ask you a question, Kane. Does he normally play like that, which I think he does, but Brisbane's midfield were just a little bit off. Their pressure in the midfield allows him to play that way, but last night the pressure wasn't there, so Harris Andrews got caught out time and time again.
We'll ask Ben Brown about that. I thought it was great coaching. I think they identified that he's more dangerous inside 50 patrolling as a loose. Let's get him up the ground and then turn him around, which they did really well last night.
And that was a problem down the back end of the ground. Equally up forward, Dan McStay went down early with some friendly fire in an incident that is most likely now going to keep him out of next week's game regarding the concussion protocols that are attached to it. It looked a really ugly incident there where Nakai came through and got him. And look, he was a mess last night, and it leaves a big hole because he's a very important cog to that Lions forward line.
He is indeed. They missed him last night, Damo. And Luke Jackson also, he will be missing something when they do play in the prelim. A tooth. Bang! Look at that. He had a mouth guard on also on the front of the Herald Sun there. He's got a mouth guard, but have a look at him there. Not the best looking bloke going around.
Oh, come on,
Bill. I'm Brad Pitt. And then he's lost a tooth. Wow.
Apologise to him.
No,
he looks all right.
I tell you what, I'd hate to see if you lost a tooth.
I've got spares. I remember when...
How much would you get for your tooth if you had it the tooth fairy?
Billy...
It'd be $200, $500.
Mate, what time... mate, we're 12 minutes into the show and you're really grinding my gears.
He's very judgmental, isn't he, Bill?
Yeah, I know, Bill. Do you not have mirrors in Geelong?
I do not have them in my house.
You should.
No, why?
You should, because you should.
I'm very happy with the slim down.
You're a balding fat man. I mean, really. I mean, you've got to... Hey, remember when Dustin Fletcher had his front two teeth knocked out? Remember Doc Larkins were doing that game saying you put them in milk.
Milk, yeah.
Yeah, and it keeps the nerves alive.
And then what? Put them back in?
Well, it's easier for them to
preserves the tooth you put in milk, apparently.
Billy's never had a glass of milk in his life, I don't think.
Yeah, I love
it. Hey,